Hi guys, Jordan from P&P Campers. I'm just going to do your handover video on your Toyota. So it's a Granvia and it is a Wellhouse leisure conversion. So we've got the Toyota chassis plate just in there telling you the exact engine code. If I remember rightly, I think this is a 2.4 petrol. So you notice on the left hand side here we've got your fuse and relay box in here. This is all Toyota stuff. Brake fluid reservoir and servo at the back there, sorry. Your air filter should sit inside here, so when you pop those off you get to the air filter. There'll just be 3 of those. Engine oil gets topped up through this cap at the top of the engine, and your engine oil dipstick is just down here. Power steering fluid just here at the front. You can see there you've got a little dipstick in there just telling you exactly how much you need to have. And that's at the perfect level as we speak. Your engine coolant gets topped up through here. This is like a little overflow, or actually it's the top of the radiator, and you've got your overflow tank just here. So in actual fact, when you come to topping this up, you should actually top it up through here into this little overflow tank. Some of the older vans just have literally just the radiator. You don't have to have the overflow tank, but on the newer ones they do, just in case. A couple of fuses and bits and pieces up here. So this here is for your wiper. This should be your wiper motor, I think. But you got fuses and relays. This is all Wellhouse stuff, so best you can keep this dry. Don't sort of jet wash onto it and things. Leisure battery is the one at the front, and your engine battery is the one here at the back. Nice and neat. You know, obviously this would have been put in after for Wellhouse to do the conversion with, but you know, it all looks nice and neat in there and tidy. All be nicely cleaned up, obviously. So yeah, obviously bearing in mind it's a petrol engine, so you've got spark plugs and HT leads and things like that, so just try and be careful as best you can when cleaning under the bonnet, especially around here, around the distributor, because if you do get any water inside there, it will start to run a little bit funny. You've got an automatic gearbox, so you've got transmission fluid as well to keep your eye on. There is a dipstick for the transmission fluid. You know, that really is more of a garage thing to do. Oh, I shouldn't have messed about with that, should I? There you go. So yeah, that's really more of a garage thing to do. That's not something you have to do with every service or anything, but you have got a dipstick there just in case you do get any problems with the automatic gearbox. But like I said, you know, at the moment it's absolutely brilliant. It drives lovely. Yeah, so there you go. You've actually got the colour code there as well, so you can see exactly what colour it is if you ever needed a touch-up paint. Okay, so inside the passenger door, there's not much to show. You know, nearly everything's on the off side there, to be honest. Your fuel filler cap is on this near side though, and there should be a little pulley over there somewhere on the driver's side to open this up. It's a typical Toyota thing. Just go around the outside first. Tow bar at the back. Obviously, if you needed to tow anything, that's just there anyway for you. Right, so I'll go over. In fact, I'll show you that now. So the gas locker is at the back just here. So it is a proper gas regulator and things like that. It's a completely concealed box here. Slightly older regulation, you know, when they were fitting this whole unit, but you've got the regulator at the back there, and anti-clockwise around to the left turns this bowl on, and clockwise around to the right turns it off. I'm going to leave it, well actually I'm going to turn it off for the moment because I don't need it on for the video. So all the way down. Other than that, you don't need to worry about any of that stuff at the back there. That's purely just for our testing purposes. But yeah, that's all in there. Freshwater inlet point is this one. You do need your key to unlock that, so if I just do that quickly, unlock it just by turning it and taking the key straight out, and then you should be able to twist that, take it off. Whilst we're here as well talking about the water, your freshwater drain is up underneath just there. So that's your freshwater drain there, popping out the bottom next to the spare wheel. And your wastewater drain is this one just here underneath the driver's seat. So both proper onboard tanks, so there's no sort of little jerry cans inside or anything like that. So proper conversion. Hookup point, this one just here. So if you do have access to a hookup cable, it's really helpful. It means you should have a little charger for the leisure battery, although I'm not exactly sure which one it has or if it has it. Any 240 volt sockets and things like that will all be coming to life when you plug that in. So being the Toyota, got absolutely tons of extras in the front here, so I'll just run you through those. I'll just make sure I'm not trying to miss the, I wonder where the petrol filler cap release button is. Should be around here somewhere normally on the Toyota. Well, I'll have to find out where it is. The bonnet release one there is just there, but okay, I'll find out where that is. So automatic gearbox, like I said. So you've got, if I just put the ignition on so you can see it actually. So on the actual stick itself, you've got on, off and overdrive. So that's turning overdrive on. That's obviously when you're driving forwards on the motorway and things like that, you get the overdrive if you should need it. So most of the time you're going to be up there in park, and it does tell you where you are on the dash just there. So in park, you can let go of the brake and the gearbox will basically lock in with the pin and it won't let you move. Kind of important to remember that if you are on a steep hill or something like that, it's always best to use the handbrake instead of using that park on the gearbox. What happens is, you know, essentially inside the gearbox, you've just got this big pin that comes across. When you're in park, it comes across, and when you let that off, if you let the brake off and it sort of moves a little bit, that's absolutely fine if you're on sort of level ground, you know. But if you're on a steep hill and it's sort of putting too much pressure on it, you can sort of run into problems then. So as best you can, remember, just use the handbrake, but if not, you're fine to use the park. Reverse is 1 down, and you will get a beeping sound there just telling you that you are in reverse, and then neutral is the next one down. Drive, 2 and L. So 2 and L are kind of, if you're going up a steep hill and the gearbox is trying to put you in too high of a gear and you're not sort of gaining any speed, or you're sort of bogging down a little bit, if you pop it down into 2, it will sort of lock you in second gear so you can sort of get up any sort of steeper hills. And L is kind of the next version of that. It's kind of the same idea really, I think. Just a longer gear essentially, so it won't try and change you up all the gears if you're going uphill. You shouldn't really, because it's quite a small van, you shouldn't really have to use that anyway, to be fair. But if, like I say, if you are finding yourself on a really steep hill at some point, you can give that a go and see if that helps. I would imagine this is a Japanese import because the indicators and lights are on the right hand side and the washers and wipers are on the left. Quite often I've personally had a Japanese import vehicle before and it was the same right hand side for indicating. I personally quite like it, but you know, you can take a little bit of getting used to. So you got your retracting mirrors and electric adjusting as well, so you choose which side you want to move and then move the mirror as and where you want it. Air conditioning and heater controls are all here, so you can change your temperature here, demist the front and rear, cooler, heater, all that sort of stuff. It's all nice classic, you know, really high quality sort of bits and pieces on there. Yeah, various bits and pieces, to be honest. You've got cup holders that pull out from there, loads of storage in there. What's that one? That sort of stuff. So it's all in there. You've got your ECT, so you got power and normal. So if you did need a little bit more power to get up a hill, you know, for example, again, not that I think you'll ever need it because it's quite a powerful engine for the size of the van. But that's there if you should need that. And I don't think it has the original curtains anymore after being converted. But these would have been electric curtains in the back. But yeah, I don't think they have those anymore. So, cool box down here. So it's actually a cool and hot box. So you can turn it off, cool or hot. That's working already. I can actually hear that working straight away. Basically work a little fan in there. That is very cool. Yeah, so I think that's about it really for the cab. Right, okay. I will find out where that petrol cap thing is. It's normally quite simple, it's quite easy to see where it is, but seems to, I don't know where that is. All right, let me have a look quickly. Can't be too difficult, can it? It's near to here or something. All right, I'll have to work that out and let you know. They're normally just down there by the seat. What's that? Oh, there you go, that's it. Right, so little lever just down there underneath the seat adjustment. So this one here, pull that and that opens up your petrol cap. There you go, that was more difficult than it needed to be. So fuel cap in there, and obviously like I said, this is petrol. Now I don't know whether or not this is compliant with the new E5 fuel or E10, I can't remember which one it is, but if I was you, I would just stick with the normal unleaded, the one that doesn't say check supplier, because to be honest, this is a slightly older engine in here, so I wouldn't be surprised if it wouldn't like it too much. Okay, all the paperwork for the van is in the front seat just there in the brown box. Up here you've got the heaters, because originally this would have been like an 8-seater van. So you've got the original heater, so when you're driving along, the heat exchanging bits and pieces will come up over here, so you can actually nicely heat up the back end here using all of this stuff. It's going to be a short video, to be completely honest with you. It's all pretty simple in the back here. You've got this switch just here, which when you turn that on, it turns the power onto your pump. So as long as you've got water in the fresh tank, lift that up and the water will come through here. It's empty at the moment because that drain that I showed you is off. So I can hear the pump working, but when you have water in here, it will obviously come out through there, and any water that goes down that drain will end up in that waste tank that you can drain off from the offside there as well. Having that switch on also gives you access to using your 12-volt fridge. You see there the lights on, and you've got the little dial in the back there. So at the moment it's on full power, and I can feel that it's cooling down. That's there in the back, and then you can turn that off, going all the way up to the top. Right, so storage cupboard in there, and loads of storage next door as well. The cooker is, you will need an igniter or a lighter of some description to light either of these up, but these just come directly from your gas bottle in the back there that I showed you. The 12-volt socket just there on the right should work all the time directly from the leisure battery, but the 240-volt one there will only work when the hookup's plugged in. Again, absolutely loads of storage in this van. It also turns on and off your lights, so you can leave all the lights on if you want and just use it, you know, as like an isolator for that. What else do we have? A little bit of storage you can get to underneath the seats there, and you can get to the seat belts in there. Various extras, table, all that sort of stuff just in here, all been left by the previous owner. I did turn that off, didn't I? Yep. And this cupboard here. So even more storage. To be honest with you, you don't need to get to any of the other stuff that, you know, like your pump and all that sort of stuff. It's not, you know, you don't have to get to that, and until it goes wrong, we can find access to it and things. But as it stands at the moment, it's working perfectly well. But yeah, so the main things really, make sure that if you are going to try and draw some water through the tap there, make sure that you fill the fresh tank up there. If you start filling it up and hear that the water's coming out underneath, just go underneath here at the back and just turn that valve over. But yeah, so I think that's about it really. Obviously we've had the whole thing sort of serviced and MOT and all that sort of stuff, so it's all good. The tyres look really, really nice and chunky. Really good tread on those. So yeah, so this vehicle does drive really, really lovely. But yeah, so if there's anything you think I've missed out or anything you want going through again, just let us know. But otherwise, we look forward to seeing you soon to collect your van. Thanks very much.